the hidden psychology of protecting your aura from draining people. Energy flows where attention goes. In a world full of different personalities and intentions, protecting your inner light isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. Welcome to Spiritual Wisdom, where today we uncover the hidden psychology of protecting your aura from draining people, guided by the transformative insights of Carl Jung. If you've ever walked away from someone feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or suddenly doubting yourself, this message is for you. These powerful principles can help you maintain your emotional balance, set healthy boundaries, and protect your energy so you can continue to grow, thrive, and live with purpose. Before we begin, comment below. Have you ever encountered someone who drains your energy without saying a word? Let's explore how to stay strong, aligned, and spiritually unstoppable together. 1. Recognize energy vampires early. Recognizing energy vampires early is a core part of spirituality and spiritual awakening, because the moment you awaken to your own inner light, you also begin to recognize who feeds from it. These are the people who constantly complain, who seek attention without offering any real connection, who criticize without contributing, who turn every conversation into a one-sided emotional dump, and who leave you mentally or spiritually exhausted every time you interact with them. Carl Jung reminds us that people will do anything to avoid facing their own souls. So when someone refuses to confront their internal struggles, they often project their negativity outward and use others as their energetic support system. When your spiritual awakening becomes stronger, you can no longer ignore the emotional weight you feel after certain interactions. The sudden fatigue, the pressure in the chest, the anxiety that appears from nowhere. These sensations are messages from your soul telling you that your aura is being drained. These individuals do not always appear toxic at first glance. In fact, they often come disguised as close friends, co-workers, neighbors, or even family members. They might look harmless, but their behavior reveals the truth. They only show up when they need something. They expect you to listen endlessly, yet they never ask if you're okay. They treat your empathy as an unlimited source of fuel, while offering nothing to refill your energy. When someone constantly needs you to rescue them emotionally, and you always end up feeling worse after trying to help, that is a clear sign their presence is harming your inner world. And if you share your dreams or successes, and they respond with jealousy, criticism, or attempts to minimize your progress, that is another sign they are threatened by your spiritual growth. As your spiritual wisdom expands, your energy becomes more radiant, and that light attracts both admiration and envy. People who refuse to grow internally are drawn to those who shine. Like moths flocking to a flame, they approach to feel warmth, but they have no intention of transforming themselves. This is why spiritually awakened individuals often face more energy drainers than the average person. Your growth exposes what others suppress. You become the mirror that forces them to see what they lack. And instead of learning from your example, they try to pull you back into their emotional darkness so they don't feel alone. Your aura is a sacred field. Think of it as a spiritual garden, blooming with purpose, peace, and potential. You would never allow harmful creatures to wander in and destroy what you have worked so hard to nurture. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is essential for your evolution. Awareness allows you to set firm boundaries, to limit access, and to refuse relationships that drain the soul. When you honor your intuition, you honor your destiny. The more you awaken, the clearer you see who truly values your presence and who only values what they can extract from you. By recognizing energy vampires early, you safeguard your mission, your inner peace, and your journey of spiritual awakening, choosing a connection that nourishes your soul rather than depletes it. If you're ready to protect your energy and rise above draining people, comment below, "I guard my aura," to show your commitment to spiritual wisdom. 2. Use psychological defense techniques. Learning to protect your emotional space is a vital part of spirituality and spiritual development, especially when you are surrounded by individuals who drain your energy or project negativity onto you. The mirror technique reminds you that their emotions do not belong to you. When someone tries to attack your confidence or peace, visualize an invisible mirror around you that reflects their negativity back to its source without harming anyone. You remain centered, calm, and confident that what they are sending out cannot penetrate your inner world. You are not here to carry burdens that are not yours to hold. Meanwhile, the method of non-reaction teaches mastery over your internal responses. Energy-draining people often survive on the emotional reactions they provoke. When you choose silence, a deep breath, or a calm gaze instead of anger or frustration, their control weakens. You take back your power. Carl Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." By refusing to react impulsively, you transform a moment of potential chaos into a moment of psychological and spiritual strength. You learn that peace is also a form of power. The technique called mental delete helps you control what enters your mind. Just as you delete spam without reading it, you can mentally delete any criticism, jealousy, gossip, or manipulation that others attempt to plant in your subconscious. You acknowledge that the message exists, but you do not allow it to stay. You do not give negativity a home in your thoughts or in your heart. You practice emotional hygiene, guarding your internal world from becoming polluted by the heavy emotions of others. When you consistently apply these 3 psychological defense strategies, reflecting negativity with a mirror, refusing to give away your reactions, and mentally deleting what does not belong, you create a powerful shield of self-respect and emotional clarity. Your aura becomes stronger, and your boundaries become healthier. You stop being a target for draining people because your energy is no longer available to feed their emptiness. You become a guardian of your own spiritual development. You learn that true power is not in dominating others, but in choosing who and what gets access to your inner light. These techniques remind you that you are allowed to protect yourself. You are allowed to say no internally without speaking a single word. You are allowed to stay untouched by negativity, even in the middle of conflict. When you guard your energy wisely, your spiritual growth becomes unstoppable. Your peace becomes undeniable, and your presence becomes unshakable. As we uncover the hidden psychology behind protecting your aura, remember that mastering psychological defense techniques is a powerful act of self-respect. Your presence here shows your dedication to protecting your energy and honoring your inner peace. Comment below, "I defend my energy with wisdom," to affirm your commitment to this journey of spiritual empowerment. Let's continue growing together. 3. Control interactions through redirection. When you realize someone is trying to pull you into their negativity, the most powerful thing you can do is shift the direction of the interaction and protect your aura before their emotional storm spills into your inner world. Carl Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." And this spiritual wisdom reminds you that you always have power over how conversations affect you. Emotional drainers often crave attention and validation for their problems. And if you are empathetic, they will unconsciously see you as someone who can absorb their pain. But your energy is sacred. You do not exist to carry burdens that are not yours. Instead of allowing yourself to be dragged into endless complaining or negative story loops, take a deep breath and gently redirect the conversation towards something more constructive. Acknowledge their feelings briefly. "I understand that must be difficult." Then pivot into empowerment. "So what can you do next?" Or, "What would a better outcome look like?" With just a few guiding words, you shift the focus from helplessness to possibility. And believe me, this will instantly change the energetic dynamic. People who feed on drama do not know how to handle someone who refuses to feed their inner chaos. This is not coldness. It is self-respect. You are protecting your aura and teaching others that communication must move toward growth, not destruction. Carl Jung also taught that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Draining people act through old wounds and unhealed patterns, unaware of the energy they spread. When you redirect the conversation, you are not only helping yourself, you are showing them a path out of their unconscious negativity. You are offering them a chance to recognize their own power instead of depending on others to rescue them emotionally. There will be moments when they resist your redirection. They might ignore your attempt to shift the topic and push harder to keep the focus on their pain. When that happens, remain grounded and calm. You do not need to force positivity. You simply maintain your boundary. If they continue spiraling into the same negative loop, you can gracefully exit the conversation or change the subject to something more neutral. This silent refusal to participate in their emotional feeding is what keeps your inner light strong. This technique becomes especially important during spiritual awakening, when your sensitivity heightens and you begin noticing how different energies affect you. The more spiritually connected you become, the more you must protect the peace within you. Redirecting conversations is one of the simplest yet most transformative spiritual wisdom practices, because you are not fighting their negativity, you are choosing not to absorb it. You are saying, "My soul matters. My peace matters." And that alone is powerful enough to shift the entire direction of your life. 4. Hold boundaries with assertive communication. Every day, as you move through life, you will encounter people who subtly drain your energy and weaken your emotional foundation. And as you deepen your spirituality and spiritual awakening, you begin to notice these interactions more clearly. Carl Jung said, "There is no light without shadow." And these draining individuals often reveal themselves when you set boundaries. They may disguise their intentions through jokes, passive-aggressive remarks, or manipulative comments designed to make you doubt yourself. This is why assertive communication becomes a spiritual shield. Your aura is not something others should be allowed to contaminate. Your peace, your purpose, and your emotional clarity deserve fierce and intelligent protection. One powerful method is asking them to repeat their insult. It sounds simple, but it is rooted in deep psychology. When someone throws negativity your way, and you calmly say, "Can you repeat what you just said?" you shine a bright light on the darkness they tried to push into you. Most manipulators rely on your silence and shock to let their words sink in. But when you call them out with a calm presence, you hold up a mirror to their behavior. The discomfort shifts back to them, and the poison they attempted to deliver loses its power the moment it is exposed. You are not escalating conflict. You are simply refusing to let harmful energy slip into your soul unnoticed. Another essential technique is the broken record method. In spirituality and in life, your inner truth must remain unwavering, and this method reinforces that truth. When someone pressures you, guilt trips you, or tries to override your boundaries, you simply repeat your statement with calm consistency. "I am not available for that. No, that does not work for me. I have already said no." Like a steady mantra, your message remains the same every time they push. You are not arguing. You are not explaining your worth. You are standing firmly in it. Eventually, they will stop because there is nothing for them to manipulate. Your consistency becomes the wall that protects your energy. And then there is the gray rock method, a technique designed for those who thrive on chaos and emotional reactions. These are the individuals Jung might describe as controlled by their own unexamined shadows, seeking fuel from others rather than facing their own inner turmoil. Instead of feeding their drama, you become neutral, calm, emotionally detached, like a silent gray rock with no reaction to provoke. Short answers, minimal engagement, no emotional entertainment for their negativity to feed on. The less you respond, the less appealing you become to their dysfunction, and slowly they drift away. Your aura remains untouchable because your attention, your most sacred energy, is no longer available to them. Through these techniques, you learn that boundary setting is not rude or aggressive. It is a profound act of self-respect. It is a declaration to the universe that your inner peace matters. Protecting your aura is an essential part of spiritual awakening, because your growth depends on the environments you allow your soul to enter. When you master assertive communication, you do not just defend yourself from draining people, you rise above them. You remain grounded in your truth, guided by your purpose, and connected to your sacred energy that deserves to be preserved. If this insight on assertive boundaries resonates with you, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss more powerful spiritual wisdom. Share your experience in the comments below. How do you protect your aura through confident communication? Let's continue growing stronger together. 5. Invest your energy wisely. Your energy is your spiritual currency, and in the path of spirituality and spiritual development, you must spend it wisely by applying the energy investment mindset, understanding that every interaction, every conversation, and every person you allow into your space either nourishes you or drains you, either expands your spirit or quietly steals your light. When you give someone your attention, you are handing over a piece of your life, because attention is time, and time is energy you will never get back. which is why you must become highly selective about where your inner power flows. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed," reminding you that anyone who touches your aura leaves a mark, and it is your responsibility to make sure that mark doesn't become a wound. Some people show up like constant storms, bringing chaos, negativity, and endless complaints, expecting you to absorb their problems while offering nothing good in return. And although your compassionate heart wants to help, you must realize that healing others should not require harming yourself. Your energy is not a public resource. It is a sacred inheritance. And when you continuously give to those who only take, you begin to feel heavy, anxious, and spiritually dry. Because their presence drains you like a leak in your soul's power supply. Your intuition already knows who those people are after you talk to them. You feel exhausted, frustrated, or emotionally scattered. And that shift in your inner state is a spiritual alarm, telling you that this connection is costing you more than it gives back. Being selective is not selfish. It is self-respect. Protecting your aura means limiting access to your mind, heart, and time, allowing only those who align with your peace to come closer, and understanding that not every person who wants you deserves you. Even those who do not intentionally drain you may be lost in their own suffering, but that does not make your energy any less valuable, nor does it make your boundaries any less necessary. When you enforce your spiritual boundaries, you send a message to the universe that you are ready for connections that honor your worth, inspire your growth, and support your evolution rather than keeping you stuck in cycles of depletion. Every day, you are making a choice to invest in what strengthens you or to fund what destroys you from within. So pay attention to who lights a fire in your spirit and who puts it out, who celebrates your growth and who envies it, who listens to understand and who listens to respond, who brings clarity and who brings confusion. Your aura is a divine ecosystem. Protect it like the rare, powerful force it is, because when you choose wisely who gets to enter your energy field, your spiritual development accelerates, your mind becomes clearer, your emotions become calmer, and your soul finally has room to rise. 6. Track your energy patterns. Carl Jung once said, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." And that truth reminds you that your inner energy is constantly speaking to you, guiding you, and revealing who and what is good for your soul. Tracking your energy patterns is not simply a spiritual practice. It is a form of self-protection and deep self-awareness, because every person you meet and every environment you enter influences your emotional state in ways you might not always notice. Some people uplift you, support you, and recharge your spirit, while others pull from you silently, leaving you tired, anxious, or doubting yourself. As you become more aware of your internal responses, you begin to discover that your energy never lies. This is why conducting regular energy audits becomes a powerful tool. You pay attention to how you feel before and after interacting with someone, noticing who brings peace and who brings chaos into your life. And this awareness allows you to finally take control of your inner world with spiritual wisdom and courage. When you allow yourself to listen to your intuition, the very thing Carl Jung believed connects you to the deeper intelligence of your psyche. You will recognize that your aura is constantly communicating. If someone's presence leaves you drained, disconnected, or feeling small, that is a sign your boundaries are being crossed, even without words. Protecting your aura means choosing environments that nourish your highest self and relationships where your presence is valued, not consumed. It also means letting go of guilt for walking away from those who only take. You were not born to carry the emotional weight of others at the expense of your own well-being. Every time you honor your energy by stepping away from negativity, you align yourself with clarity, peace, and the life you are meant to experience. Spiritual awakening is not just about opening your heart. It is also about recognizing what dims your light. If you do not manage your energy wisely, you will find yourself depleted during the moments when you most need inner strength. But the moment you become conscious of what strengthens your aura and what weakens it, you transform the way you move through the world. Your peace becomes your power. Your intuition becomes your armor. Your joy becomes a silent boundary that negative people cannot cross. And the more you track these energy patterns, the more you step into a life where your inner radiance cannot be diminished. If this insight helped you understand your energy better, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming teachings on protecting your aura. Comment below. I honor my energy and choose what strengthens me. Protecting your aura is not about shutting people out. It's about valuing your peace, honoring your inner energy, and choosing connections that help you grow. As Carl Jung suggested, true transformation begins when we become aware of what drains us and what empowers us. If today's insights helped you recognize the importance of safeguarding your energy, let this be the moment you commit to a healthier, more aligned life. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom, and make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming explorations into the deeper psychology of the soul. Stay protected, stay empowered, and keep shining your light. Becoming addicted to your appearance? Carl Jung says that's not a bad thing. Beauty is eternity gazing at itself in a mirror. Khalil Gibran. What if your growing fascination with your own image isn't vanity, but a sign of deeper self-recognition? In today's video from Spiritual Wisdom, we'll explore Carl Jung's surprising insight that becoming captivated by your own reflection can actually be a sacred stage of individuation, a step toward integrating the self and awakening inner confidence. Have you ever noticed how your relationship with your appearance changes as your awareness grows? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's reflect together on how self-image can be a mirror for spiritual growth and personal happiness. 1. Appearance reflects the inner world. Carl Jung taught that your outer appearance is never just skin deep. It's a reflection of your inner world. When you neglect how you look, it often signals a deeper disconnection from your spirit. But when your appearance aligns with your inner truth, harmony begins to radiate through you. Confidence rises effortlessly, and your presence flows with natural ease. Your reflection is not vanity. It's feedback from your soul, a living symbol of your spiritual state. every color you wear, every movement you make, every expression on your face mirrors the energy within. Spiritual awakening reminds you that the body is the temple of the spirit, not something to suppress, but something to honor as a channel through which consciousness becomes visible. When you start paying attention to how you appear, it's not about ego, it's about awareness. You begin to treat yourself as something sacred. Your body becomes a canvas where your inner light paints its truth. This is why during moments of inner transformation, you often feel the urge to change your look, to cut your hair, to refresh your style, to glow differently. It's not superficial, it's symbolic. The external shift reflects an internal rebirth. Jung called this the process of individuation, when the outer and inner selves finally meet in authenticity. You no longer wear an image to impress others. You wear your soul. This understanding transforms self-care into spiritual practice. When you dress with intention, when you nourish your body, when you express your natural beauty without guilt, you are not serving the ego. You are honoring your essence. Your reflection becomes a dialogue with the divine, revealing not who you think you should be, but who you already are beneath the noise. Your appearance then becomes an expression of energy, not insecurity, a statement that says, "My spirit is alive here, in this form." The eyes glow differently, the voice vibrates more softly, and your aura expands because inner peace is finally reflected through matter. There's a silent power in being fully aligned when your outer image no longer hides or exaggerates, but tells the truth of your soul. You walk differently because you are no longer fragmented. You dress not to be seen, but to express being. You care for your appearance because it is a form of gratitude for existing in this physical plane. Jung's wisdom invites us to see beauty, not as illusion, but as illumination, the light of spirit made visible through the body. To tend to your reflection consciously is not narcissism. It is a sacred form of remembrance, a declaration that your inner and outer worlds have learned to dance in harmony. If you truly believe that your appearance mirrors your inner world, let your light be seen. Type in the comments, "My outer beauty reflects my inner growth," and let this community know you're walking the path of spiritual wisdom with awareness and intention. 2. Appearance as responsibility, not vanity. Caring for your appearance is not vanity. It is a sacred act of responsibility toward your essence and purpose. When your outer presentation aligns with the way you feel inside, your energy rises, your confidence stabilizes, and life begins to flow with ease. In spirituality, this harmony between the inner and outer self is not superficial. It's a sign of spiritual growth and integrity. To look good is not to please others, but to honor the divine spark within you that longs to express beauty, order, and light. Your appearance becomes a language through which your soul speaks, a mirror that reflects your consciousness and reminds you that you are worthy of being seen. Neglecting your appearance, on the other hand, often signals inner disconnection. When your energy is low or your purpose feels dim, it shows in the way you carry yourself, in the way you dress, even in the tone of your presence. Taking care of how you look is not an obsession with perfection, but an acknowledgement of your worth. When you nurture your physical form with awareness, you send a message to your subconscious that you value yourself, that you are in harmony with life. This simple act can shift your entire vibration, aligning your energy field with abundance, confidence, and clarity. Carl Jung taught that the face we show the world, the persona, is not meant to be rejected, but purified. It becomes a spiritual bridge when it reflects the truth of who we are rather than conceals it. Every choice, from the colors you wear to the posture you hold, tells a story about your state of consciousness. When that story reflects love, self-respect, and peace, your outer world rearranges to match your inner vibration. People respond to you differently. Synchronicities appear effortlessly, and opportunities flow because your energy has become coherent. In that state, you no longer chase validation. You embody it. You become magnetic, not because of your appearance alone, but because your appearance is infused with the frequency of self-awareness and spiritual authenticity. Spiritual growth is not about detaching from the physical. It is about transforming the physical into a vessel of light. The body, the face, the clothes, all of these are temples through which the soul communicates. When you care for them consciously, you participate in the divine act of creation, turning everyday routines into spiritual rituals. Styling your hair, choosing your outfit, or simply standing tall becomes a silent prayer, a reminder that you honor the energy of life flowing through you. You begin to realize that beauty is not something to acquire, but something to awaken. Looking good, then, is not vanity, but devotion, a reflection of self-respect and inner integrity. When you align how you feel inside with how you express yourself outwardly, you create a state of wholeness that radiates peace and confidence. You start walking through the world as someone who knows that spirituality is not about escaping form, but illuminating it. Your appearance becomes an outer expression of inner harmony, a living proof that when the soul grows, it beautifies everything it touches, including you. 3. The science of alignment. When your outer image begins to reflect your inner truth, something powerful happens inside you. Your brain responds with a surge of dopamine and serotonin, those natural chemicals of joy and confidence that make you feel alive, magnetic, and aligned. You start walking with purpose, speaking with clarity, and radiating an energy that people can't quite explain but deeply feel. According to spiritual wisdom, this is not vanity, it's alignment. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And that journey often begins when you allow your physical appearance to become a mirror of your soul's authenticity. When what you see on the outside finally resonates with what you feel on the inside, you're not feeding the ego. You're nurturing harmony between the mind, body, and spirit. But when there's disconnection, when the way you look no longer reflects the person you've become within your body senses it, the chemistry shifts, and cortisol, the stress hormone, begins to flood your system. You might feel drained, uninspired, or strangely uncomfortable in your own skin. Jung called this inner conflict psychic disunity, a state where the conscious and unconscious self fall out of balance. The mirror stops feeling like the truth and starts feeling like tension because it's showing you an outdated version of yourself. This is not a call to chase perfection. It's a signal to realign. When you start honoring your current self through your appearance, through the colors you wear, the way you carry yourself, the energy you project, you are essentially saying, "I see who I am becoming." Your image is not just fabric, makeup, or posture. It's your soul's language made visible. Think of it as your aura clothed in matter. When the outer frame finally matches the artwork within, everything feels effortlessly right. Spiritual wisdom reminds us that beauty is not the pursuit of surface perfection, but the expression of vibrational truth. The more your thoughts, emotions, and spirit evolve, the more your outer world transforms to match that frequency. You begin to take care of yourself, not because you need validation, but because you respect the temple that carries your essence. You start to see your reflection as evidence of transformation, a visual prayer of who you are and who you're becoming. So when you feel drawn to refine your appearance, don't judge yourself. It might not be vanity at all. It might be your higher self guiding you toward alignment. You're responding to the soul's desire to bring the inner and outer worlds into resonance. As Jung would say, this is the process of individuation, the merging of all parts of the self into harmony. When your reflection becomes an honest echo of your inner evolution, confidence is no longer something you try to achieve. It simply flows. You're not obsessed with how you look. You're devoted to who you are becoming. And in that state of spiritual alignment, beauty stops being a goal and becomes your natural state of being. Leave your like and subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss more insights like this on the science of alignment. Stay connected with your inner power and let your outer world reflect your truth. Type in the comments, "I am in perfect alignment with my highest self." 4. 5 keys to mastering appearance. The mirror is not just a piece of glass. It's a spiritual tool, a portal that reflects not only your appearance, but your state of consciousness. Each morning, when you look at yourself, you're not checking for flaws. You're seeking alignment. Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology and spirituality, said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." To truly see yourself is an act of awakening. When you adjust your posture, fix your hair, or choose your outfit, you are subconsciously asking, does this version of me feel in harmony with my inner world? This is the mirror principle, the first key to mastering appearance through spiritual awakening. It's not about vanity, it's about awareness. Each small adjustment is an energetic recalibration, a way of reminding yourself that your outer world is meant to mirror the inner truth you are cultivating. When you approach your reflection with consciousness rather than criticism, your mirror becomes your mentor. The second key, the 10-minute investment, reminds you that self-care is a spiritual discipline. 10 minutes may seem like a small window, but when done with intention, it changes your entire vibration. Spend that time mindfully washing your face, stretching, breathing, meditating, or simply being present with your body. Jung taught that transformation begins in the everyday details, not the grand gestures. 10 minutes of devoted care signals to your subconscious that you are worthy of attention and peace. Over time, this ritual builds a foundation of self-trust and inner harmony. In spirituality, this daily act is not mere grooming. It's a dialogue between your body and soul, a morning prayer to your higher self through motion, touch, and care. Next is the personal standard, the invisible law that defines how you choose to appear in the world. It's not about fashion or trends. It's about coherence. How do you want your presence to feel? What vibration do you wish to radiate when you walk into a room? Your personal standard is the bridge between authenticity and presentation. When you decide what feels right for you, what colors, styles, and details represent your spirit, you are not masking yourself. You are expressing your essence. Jung believed that the persona, when consciously shaped, becomes a sacred vessel for the soul's truth. Maintaining your standard consistently communicates discipline and integrity, both powerful aspects of spiritual awakening. You begin to embody your highest energy, and others naturally respond to your clarity. Then comes the 1% philosophy, the reminder that growth, both inner and outer, is evolutionary, not explosive. Every day, strive to become 1% better, 1% more aligned, 1% more confident. In spiritual wisdom, even the smallest act of self-improvement has an exponential effect. It might mean dressing a little better, thinking a little kinder, or standing a little taller. These micro shifts compound over time, transforming not only your appearance, but your entire energy field. Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens." Each 1% improvement is a bridge between those two worlds, your external reflection and your inner evolution becoming one seamless reality. Finally, the multiplier effect reveals the magic that occurs when you radiate confidence and coherence. Your energy becomes contagious. People are drawn not to your features, but to your frequency, the way your inner peace translates into presence. You influence others not by words, but by vibration. When your outer image reflects your inner state of calm self-acceptance, you unconsciously grant others permission to do the same. In this way, caring for your appearance is not self-absorption, it's service. It elevates the collective energy around you. So when you tend to your reflection, give those 10 minutes to self-care, uphold your personal standard, grow 1% daily, and let your energy multiply outward. You are practicing spirituality in motion. You are embodying spiritual awakening in its most visible form, where beauty becomes consciousness, and every glance in the mirror is not vanity, but reverence for the divine life expressing itself through you. 5. Presence is power. After 40, your appearance is no longer about vanity. It becomes a reflection of your leadership, your inner maturity, and your spiritual growth. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And that truth is revealed not only through your mind, but through your very presence. When you walk into a room, people can sense whether you've made peace with yourself, whether your life has been lived consciously or carelessly. Maturity should express wisdom, not weariness. It should carry quiet confidence, not indifference. Neglect is not a sign of humility. It is often a symptom of spiritual fatigue. Caring for your appearance is an act of reverence. It says, "I honor my life, and I am prepared to lead." It shows that you understand the sacred responsibility of representing your inner world through your outer form. There is a profound connection between the way you present yourself and the energy you emit. In spirituality, this is called embodiment, the ability to allow your spirit to be seen, felt, and known through your physical being. The clothes you choose, the way you hold your posture, the softness or firmness of your gaze, all of it speaks the language of your soul. A well-cared-for appearance doesn't mean chasing youth or vanity. It means you've accepted your evolution. You've learned that beauty is not in perfection, but in alignment. When your outer self reflects your inner peace, you radiate something magnetic, an energy that draws others in without effort. Those who have matured with awareness carry a different kind of light. They lead not by words, but by presence. They embody serenity that cannot be faked. You can feel it in how they move, how they breathe, how they listen. Jung understood that true personality is born when the ego surrenders to the soul, when the outer form becomes an instrument for something higher to express itself. And so, the way you care for your appearance after 40 is no longer about impressing others. It's about mirroring your self-respect. You begin to treat your body like a temple, your clothes like extensions of your energy, and your daily rituals like sacred acts of self-honoring. Your appearance becomes a silent declaration that you are living in awareness. The wrinkles on your face are not flaws. They are maps of wisdom. The way you style yourself, walk, or speak reveals whether you live in chaos or in calm. Each choice, from grooming to demeanor, becomes a statement of self-leadership. And when your outer image harmonizes with your inner growth, you embody the essence of spiritual maturity. People start to feel safe in your presence because you have integrated your own contradictions. You no longer chase approval. You radiate wholeness. This is the beauty that Carl Jung's spiritual wisdom points to. A beauty born from consciousness, not control. When you take care of yourself, you're not indulging in vanity. You're embodying self-awareness. You're showing that you understand the sacred unity between spirit and matter. You are, in essence, saying to the world, I am here, fully awake, grounded in who I've become. And that kind of presence rooted in self-respect, refined through experience, and balanced by humility, is the most powerful form of leadership there is. If this message has awakened something within you, affirm it in the comments. I choose to live fully present in every moment. My power is in the now. 6. The symbolic meaning of the body. Your body is not just a physical form, it is the sacred vessel through which your spirit reveals itself. As Carl Jung's spiritual wisdom reminds us, the body is the visibility of the soul. The soul is the meaning of the body. When you neglect your appearance or treat your body carelessly, you are not being humble. You are silencing one of the most powerful languages your soul has to express itself. Your body and style are instruments of destiny, a visible reflection of your unseen essence. To ignore them is to mute the dialogue between your soul and the world. When your outer self begins to mirror your inner wholeness, you awaken a deep harmony within the kind where life itself begins to move in rhythm with you. Your appearance is not vanity. It's a reflection of how aligned you are with your truth. The clothes you wear, the way you walk, the glow in your skin, all of it speaks before you ever say a word. When you nurture your physical form with awareness, you honor your spirit in motion. Jung's teachings remind us that the path to individuation, the process of becoming your true self, includes the reconciliation between body and soul. Your physical form is a mirror of your psychological state, an ever-evolving artwork of your consciousness. When you begin to see your body not as something to fix, but as something sacred to express, you open the door to psychological wholeness. To be addicted to your appearance, in this sense, is not a weakness, but a devotion. It means you are in love with the vessel that carries your light. Each choice you make, every color you wear, every scent you choose, every gesture you make, transmits a silent message about your energy. You are constantly broadcasting your inner vibration to the outer world. As Jung once said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And becoming who you truly are means allowing every layer of your being, mind, body, and spirit to reflect that truth without shame or fear. Caring for your body consciously is not vanity, it's visibility. It's how your spirit declares, I am here. When you look in the mirror and see beauty not as an illusion, but as evidence of inner harmony, you enter the state of self-respect that radiates authenticity. You no longer dress to impress. You adorn to express. You stop trying to look like someone else and instead begin to look like yourself. And that's when the world begins to respond differently. You draw in opportunities, relationships, and synchronicities that match your vibration because your inner world and outer image are no longer in conflict. They are speaking the same language. When your body mirrors your soul, life becomes fluid. You move with grace instead of resistance. You attract what resonates instead of chasing what doesn't. Your presence becomes your power. Your energy becomes your signature. And your appearance becomes an extension of your consciousness. That is the ultimate message of spiritual wisdom. When the body aligns with the soul, you no longer have to seek validation from the world. You become the embodiment of your own truth, and the universe, in turn, conspires with you. 7. The upward spiral of self-image. When you take care of yourself, something subtle but powerful begins to unfold within you. Carl Jung, whose teachings often connect psychology and spirituality, would call this the awakening of your inner world. The simple act of caring for your appearance is not vanity. It is self-respect made visible. It's the way your soul whispers, I am worthy of care. When you nurture your self-image, you activate an upward spiral that transforms how you feel, how you act, and what you attract. You start to feel better. And when you feel better, you act better. When you act better, you achieve better. And when you achieve better, you care even more. This is not just a cycle of improvement. It's a spiritual evolution in motion. Spirituality is not about rejecting the body or denying beauty in the name of humility. It is about bringing harmony between your body, mind, and spirit. When you choose to look after yourself, to dress with intention, to move with grace, to smile at your reflection, you are acknowledging the divinity in your form. You're saying to the universe, I honor this vessel that carries my soul. And in return, your life begins to align with that frequency of respect. Your choices become more conscious, your thoughts more peaceful, your relationships more balanced. As Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And to become that person, you must first see yourself as worthy of becoming. The upward spiral of self-image is not about chasing perfection, but embodying presence. When you treat yourself with love, your energy radiates beyond the physical. It touches your emotions, your focus, and your actions. Every act of care becomes a statement of self-belief, a reminder that you are not separate from the divine, but a reflection of it. Jung believed that transformation begins in the unconscious. When you tend to your outer world, your inner world listens. When you care for your body, your mind becomes more focused. When you nurture your energy, your spirit begins to awaken. You create a positive feedback loop between the inner and outer self, where each reinforces the other in a dance of evolution. But when you neglect yourself, the spiral reverses. You feel less alive, less inspired, and your energy begins to fade. Neglect isn't humility. It's a silent form of self-abandonment. Jung warned that what you resist persists, and when you resist your own beauty, strength, or potential, you bury them in your shadow. This hidden self begins to control you from the background, showing up as insecurity, jealousy, or self-doubt. The decay of self-image is not just emotional, it's spiritual. Your light dims, not because it has vanished, but because you've forgotten to tend to it. The downward spiral begins when you stop believing that you are worth evolving for. In truth, your self-image is the mirror of your soul's current state of consciousness. It can either lift you toward your highest potential or pull you down into apathy. The choice is always yours, to rise through love and awareness, or to fall through neglect and denial. Spiritual awakening begins when you realize that caring for yourself is not shallow. It's sacred. It is the act of aligning your physical expression with your inner truth. When you fix your posture, when you speak kindly to yourself, when you radiate confidence, you are not just improving your appearance, you are tuning yourself to a higher frequency. Carl Jung would say that every external act has an internal echo. The way you treat your reflection is the way you treat your spirit. So, when you choose to value yourself, you teach the universe how to value you. This is not vanity, it's reverence. It's the realization that the body and soul are partners in the art of becoming. When you love what you see, not from ego, but from awareness, you become magnetic. Your confidence turns into calmness. Your calmness turns into compassion. And your compassion becomes the very essence of spiritual wisdom. This is the true upward spiral of self-image, a continuous unfolding where your outer beauty becomes the mirror of your inner awakening, and every act of self-care becomes an expression of divine consciousness in motion. If you find this content touching your heart, please consider becoming a member to receive more in-depth lessons and direct support from me. 8. Practical transformation tools. Each day offers a chance to meet yourself again, and one of the most powerful ways to do that is through conscious reflection. The 5-minute mirror audit isn't just about seeing your face, it's about witnessing your evolution. When you look in the mirror at night, don't ask, "Am I perfect?" Ask instead, "Does my appearance reflect the person I am growing into?" This is where spirituality and self-image merge, when your reflection becomes a conversation with your soul. As you keep this nightly ritual, you start to notice subtle changes, not just in how you look, but in how you carry your truth, how your posture reflects confidence, and how your eyes radiate calm self-acceptance. Beyond the mirror, there is a deeper journey, the ritual of 3 mirrors. The first mirror reflects your physical presence, the vessel through which your spirit moves in this world. The second shows your emotional energy and what feelings linger within you after each day. The third mirror reveals your aspiration, the higher version of you calling to be expressed. By practicing this ritual, you align your physical, emotional, and spiritual selves, turning self-awareness into a form of sacred discipline. Carl Jung believed that the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. And through these reflections, you move closer to that radical acceptance, which is the foundation of spiritual growth. Transformation also lives in the everyday choices that shape your environment, like the wardrobe renewal practice. Once a week, remove one item from your closet that no longer represents who you are becoming. This simple act of release carries immense symbolic power. Each piece of clothing you let go of is an old identity, a vibration that no longer matches your present frequency. As you make space, you allow new energy to flow into your life. This is spirituality in motion, decluttering the physical to mirror the cleansing of the emotional and energetic layers within you. Then comes the morning ritual expansion. Add 15 minutes to your routine, not for vanity, but for reverence. Those extra moments are an offering to your higher self. When you wash your face, feel the water as renewal. When you dress, choose colors that resonate with your current vibration, perhaps grounding earth tones for balance or radiant whites for purity. As you stand before the mirror, affirm, "I am becoming the person I am meant to be." These small moments of mindfulness build emotional resilience and spiritual awareness, setting the tone for your entire day. Finally, there is the 90-day photo challenge. Every day, capture an image of yourself, not to chase perfection, but to honor progression. After 3 months, when you look back, you'll see more than surface changes. You'll see energy, posture, and presence evolving. You'll see a version of yourself who has learned to embody growth consciously. Spirituality isn't always about meditation or prayer. Sometimes it's about observing your own metamorphosis with love. Each photograph becomes a visual diary of transformation, proof that devotion to self-awareness leads to visible lightness and inner alignment. Through these practices, the mirror audit, the 3 mirrors ritual, wardrobe renewal, morning ritual expansion, and the 90-day photo journey, you begin to understand that self-care is not superficial. It's sacred. Every act of grooming becomes a prayer of embodiment. Every mirror becomes a portal of awareness. And as you integrate these tools, you'll realize that true beauty is not a mask, it's energy made visible, the radiance of a soul in alignment. This is what spiritual growth truly looks like when it's lived, not just understood. 9. The deeper lesson of Jung. Your appearance is not a mask you wear to please the world. It is a mirror of your becoming, the visible expression of your inner evolution. You cannot embody discipline, confidence, or purpose while neglecting the vessel that carries them. When you care for your appearance, you're not worshiping vanity. You're practicing spiritual wisdom in motion. As Carl Jung said, the outer world mirrors the inner one, and that truth extends to your body, your clothes, your energy, and the way you meet the day. Every detail of your image is an external echo of your internal order, and when you neglect it, you silently tell your subconscious that your dreams are not yet worth showing up for. But when you polish your reflection with intention, you communicate to your soul that it is safe and necessary to rise into its potential. Caring for your image is a form of applied psychology, a living affirmation that you take your destiny seriously. It's not about perfection, but alignment, aligning the way you look with the life you are calling in. The way you dress, walk, and carry yourself tells your unconscious who you believe yourself to be. If you carry yourself like a person of strength, grace, and purpose, the mind will begin to shape itself to match that belief. As Aristotle once wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. In this sense, every small act of care, washing your face, ironing your shirt, standing tall, is not superficial. It's sacred. It's a daily ritual that builds discipline and signals self-respect. Jung often spoke about the persona, the mask we show the world, not as something fake, but as a necessary bridge to the self. When consciously shaped, your outward form becomes a tool for awakening, not deception. Think of how temples are cleaned before prayer, candles are lit before meditation, or robes are worn for ceremonies. None of these are about impressing others. They are reminders to the spirit that what you're about to do matters. Your body is your first temple. Caring for it is your first act of devotion. Through grooming, posture, and presence, you align the outer and inner worlds until they vibrate in harmony. Each day, you delay caring for your appearance. You delay your potential. Transformation doesn't happen all at once. It begins in small, consistent acts of self-respect. If you want to become more confident, start by looking like someone who is. If you want to feel more grounded, dress in a way that reflects calm and clarity. The soul speaks through symbols, and your image is one of them. It is not vanity, it is vibration. When you look at yourself in the mirror with intention, you are reminding your unconscious, I am worthy of showing up beautifully for my destiny. Carl Jung also said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So bring awareness to the unconscious story your appearance tells. Is it one of neglect, avoidance, or unworthiness, or one of discipline, faith, and becoming? Every morning, you have the power to rewrite that story. You don't need wealth or perfection to begin. You only need intention. Comb your hair with care, walk with presence, choose one symbol, a scent, a color, a gesture that reminds you of who you're becoming. Over time, these small, sacred rituals will rewire your mind toward confidence and grace. When you honor your reflection, you honor your destiny. The outer world responds to how you carry yourself. And when your energy says, I am ready, opportunities start recognizing you. So stop waiting to feel good before you show up as your best self. Show up first, and the feeling will follow. Your appearance is a language of energy, and when spoken with awareness, it tells the universe that you are no longer running from your greatness. As Jung's spiritual wisdom teaches, the journey toward self-realization begins when your inner truth and outer form become one seamless expression of purpose. And remember, your appearance is not your prison. It's a mirror reflecting the soul's evolution. When you learn to see beauty not as vanity, but as vitality, you begin to embody the harmony Carl Jung spoke of, the union between your inner and outer worlds. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos that dive deep into the psychology of the soul and the mysteries of self-realization.